Back in Week 14, the Bears dominated their first matchup against the Vikings. Can Minnesota get revenge? The answer comes your way next on EA Sports.
U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns. I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I loved was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Fields. This to the outside, it's Sermon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They snap it to Fields. Flush to his right. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this one is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here. And that is incomplete here. Kind of a quirk in the schedule. These 2 division rivals didn't see each other much in the year. Their first meeting was just a few weeks ago, back in Week 14. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. When the guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Looking for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And the Bears will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw taken in here by Fuller. Touchdown, Chicago! Will Fuller, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Santos with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
Second down, they go right back to Cook.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he's got some space here. Past the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Boy, the word with Dalvin Cook is explosiveness. I'm not sure there's anybody in the league that has the acceleration that he does, and he put it to good effect there.
And what was impressive to me is not just how much he wanted it, but how he fashioned it. I mean, he was shedding tacklers left and right, evading tacklers left and right. And when you think about the energy it takes to ward guys off, that's really impressive. He still managed to keep his balance and turn this into a fantastic run.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And they have secured that spot in the playoffs, clinching the NFC North Division, in fact. So for the moment, they would be hosting a wild card game in round one.
And I think it is cause for celebration. Let's not get hung up on the fact that only one team now gets a bye in the first round. Win your division, get to the playoffs, celebrate that. And by the way, they are guaranteed a home game. That's a good way to start the playoffs.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. He'll leave that underneath to Sermon. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Called fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Got a man, that's Lazard.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown! Trey Sermon with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them.
I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Night.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Here's Cousins. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
He's letting this one go for Fuller. Oh, a contested ball here that's going to be caught. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Sermon now on 1st and 10. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Fields. That's complete. Bernard. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. These two teams, you may remember, they met up at Soldier Field earlier this season with the Bears winning that one. So if they can win here in Minnesota, they get a sweep of the season series. On 2nd and 9, Fields. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up.
Touchdown, Bears! Trey Sermon with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Bears go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Santos with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
On first down, they look downfield, and it's complete. Fights through him. And they get this all the way inside Chicago's 10. A big play there for Minnesota. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you want two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is right through. And then we'll get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, Sermon. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Off play action, Fields. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll fake the handoff, now Fields. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And they're going to speed things up here. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. A final shot before the break. Fields. Touchdown! A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears will extend their lead here just before halftime. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now.
Vikings 10. Santos to kick off for Chicago.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on 1st down. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've come upon halftime. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
final adjustments being made in the locker rooms. We're just about ready for the second half from Minneapolis. And for the call, let's rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 23-yard line.
They run it again with Cook. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. 2nd straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. To throw, Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Back to Sermon on 1st down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now a handoff, Sermon, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels. Got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy? And what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Sermon. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And they'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Trey Sermon taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Santos with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25.
Vikings 10.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Cousins now. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, it's Cousins. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. He'll get this underneath to Madison. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing is Cousins. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the sign judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down. Now Cousins. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Khalil Mack, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there. And he winds up giving the ball away.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 23-yard line.
They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Push him back. 45, 45. Mike, 45. Stop your whining.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Checks it down to Sermon out of the backfield. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
51 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
On second down, another shot for Sermon. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Bears, they improved to 14-2 with still one game left to be played in this regular season.